Hey there, everyone. It's GG Sober Sun. November 30th. AA thought for the day. This is a pretty swanky homeless hangout here in my town, my adopted town, right next to some high-rise condos and fake people. Those are just copper fake people. And I'm focusing on avoiding being fake people, being fake, and some of that is avoiding being around fake people. And I love that in AA I can be real to the best of my ability. That's the aim, anyway. November 30th, AA thought for the day. We have slips in AA. It has been said these are not slips but premeditated drunks, because we have to think about taking a drink before we actually take one. The thought always comes before the act. It is suggested that people should always get in touch with an AA before taking that first drink. The failure to do so makes it probable that they had decided to take the drink anyway. And yet the thoughts that come before taking a drink are often largely subconscious. People usually don't know consciously what made them do it. Therefore, the common practice is to call these things slips. Am I on guard against wrong thinking? What? Thinking? I thought I came here for my drinking. Well, I came for my drinking and stayed for my thinking. It really is what keeps me coming back, regardless of how I may, regardless of how far down the scale I've gone. My thinking is what can get me back out there. I've seen people lose so much, and you'd think when you hear their story that, oh, surely they're done now. You know? And whatever it is, sometimes feeling good can make people take a drink. They think they're impervious to it, that they've solved their problems, and that alcohol would have no effect, or not necessarily not have an effect. It just wouldn't be as necessary in our lives, that we could just take a few drinks and be okay. And like I shared yesterday, I have to become a member of the No Matter What club. No matter what, I'm not going to take a drink. I've proven too many times in my life, and yeah, it's been a while, but I've proven too many times in my life with other things, really, other habits, if you want to call it that, other compulsions, I guess, that, like smoking, I've quit and started again so many different times, and even now, either I hate the smell of cigarettes or it makes me nostalgic, that kind of thing. I love the smell of pipe smoke, you know what I mean, when somebody's smoking a nice vanilla Cavendish or a cherry Cavendish. It smells so good. It smells way better than it tastes, that's for sure. But that could make me go back to it. But anyway, I keep coming back for my thinking, and the notion of on guard against wrong thinking. I think on guard sounds like resistance, and I'm a firm believer in what I resist persists. So, if I'm trying to avoid thinking things, if I'm trying to avoid behaviors, of course I'm trying to avoid alcohol, but it comes way before that. If I'm trying to not drink, if it's different if I'm abstaining, I'm choosing to abstain from alcohol. That's different than I'm not gonna drink. That's resistance. And this is me. So some people feel like don't drink is a good motto. I've heard don't drink if your ass falls off. If it does fall off because you're not drinking, pick it up, bring it to a meeting, we'll help you put it back on. It's funny and it's cute, but in my world, I have to be positive, and I'm very mindful of how I word things, because how I word and think about things can be the very thing that trips me up. So, and I think words are really freaking important. So, I abstain from alcohol. I choose to abstain from alcohol because I'm a better human being if I abstain from alcohol. I am able to focus more on doing the next right thing if I abstain from alcohol. I'm less self-centered, more others-centered. So I'll keep coming back. And so for me, it's mindfulness. Am I mindful of thinking, negative thinking? Am I mindful of thinking that no longer serves me? Right? Because I could, there's so many times I wake up in the victim mindset. And so if I stay there, and that's how I've done it most of my life, wake up in the victim mindset. Or wake up so codependent that if I do something for somebody else and they don't thank me, I get hurt, and angry. And that type of thinking can lead me back to drinking. If you had my friends, if you had my family, you'd drink too. See how that works? So it's good to be mindful of old thoughts that no longer serve me. It's good to be mindful of that knot in the pit of my stomach that I can use all kinds of destructive behaviors to try to tamp down. Meditation for the day. Quote, "The eternal God is thy refuge," end quote. He is a sanctuary, a refuge from the cares of life. You can get away from the misunderstanding of others by retiring into your own place of meditation. But from yourself, from your sense of failure, your weakness, your shortcomings, whither can you flee? Question mark. Whither? Only to the eternal God, your refuge, until the immensity of His Spirit envelops your spirit and it loses its smallness and weakness and comes into harmony again with His. Wow, that sounds really that guy was feeling pretty dang pious that day when he wrote that. Thank you, dude, for making the effort to write this out. And I can't remember his name, but I know a lot of people have been helped by this little book, including me in my first year. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people that make a big deal about Sunday. A lot of religious people like keep Sunday sacred, and it's the Sabbath and things like that. Well, in my faith, I'm Christian. I can have that Sabbath day rest at any time. All I need to do is breathe and touch into the Spirit that engulfs us all, that fills every fiber of our being at every moment. I just need to shift my awareness to that. God is omnipresent. My God is omnipresent. He's not only in a building with a pointy steeple or whatever. It's not only in the rooms of AA, though I feel it more there. It's wherever I am, whenever I am. My God is the creator of all things, and time and space. So it doesn't matter where I am, I can tap into that Spirit. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may lose my limitations in the immensity of God's love. I pray that my spirit may be in harmony with His Spirit. And I had the coolest dream last night, and it was like God showed me my limitations by granting me the ability to do anything. And then I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. And it was like, make something disappear or something like that, and it was like, that is so lame. When faced with unlimited ability, what would I do? And it's like, I don't know. And I knew I had this ability to do whatever I wanted to. It was like I was like trying to get other people to tell me what they think I should do, like to prove that I could do anything. And in the end, it was just like, like I said, making things disappear out of people's pockets or something like that. Where's your phone? That kind of thing. It's right here. How'd you do that? Cheap parlor tricks, basically, that any magician could do, kind of thing. And I knew it was so cheesy and stupid. And so maybe that's an indicator, for me to lean into God and continue to ask His guidance and direction. Sounds good to me. I'll keep coming back. Love y'all. Look up, aim up, rise up.